Hey everyone, thanks for stopping in again. Originally when I started doing SITREP 101, the name of the YouTube site was actually called WASTED. And WASTED stood for Weapons and Special Tactics Education. And I kind of went away from the word wasted. Some people thought it was cool, other people thought it was just bad in general. But anyways, education in firearms and tactics. I've been in the industry for about 10 years now. Special weapons coordinator over at 6 Hour for almost 3 years. I now work for a major distributor. I'm an instructor. I'm a consultant in the firearms industry. On YouTube, people offer their opinion, their advice, and everyone's got an opinion. We all know that. On firearm manipulations, product evaluation, shooting techniques, trying to make the person, the viewer, a better shooter. And my goal is to do the same thing. I came across a video from a training company. I'm not going to mention the name of the company. My goal is not to bash them, but they talked about a technique on doing a slide manipulation for someone that may have a very weak support hand. The storyline was based upon a woman, a little old lady who was doing a revolver, shooting a revolver. She had to use both her index fingers in order to pull the trigger back. His recommendation, which would have been mine, go over to semi-automatic. Her problem was that she said that I have arthritis and I can't manipulate the slide. So I'm going to show you the technique that he posted, and I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. So basically what he recommended was, considering that if you're a right-handed shooter, your right arm is going to be your strong arm, and of course you have your support. His recommendation was to pull the weapon in as close as possible, grab it with a saddle style technique or an American style technique. The other style is called an Israeli style. The thumb on the right hand side of the slide. You can do all 4 fingers that are making contact with the slide like this. Or as I would do it, it would be the thumb, right hand side of the slide, index finger, middle finger. And that's the style that I've been basically using. But anyways, so he turned around and said, bring the weapon in tight. Grab the weapon, palm on the left-hand side, indexing 4 fingers on the right-hand side of the slide, and then push down and release. Here's my problem. Where's the gun pointing? It's pointing at the ground, actually right at my foot right now. As we all know in the industry, negligent and accidental discharges can happen, whether it be done by human error or a malfunction of the firearm. So I have a really big problem with that, immense problem with that. As you know, one of the #1 rules of safety in firearms is always make sure your muzzle is pointed downrange at all times. So your manipulation, whatever you do with this firearm, whether it be reloading, racking the slide, clearing a malfunction, that barrel needs to be pointing downrange at all times. So I had a problem with that, and that's what prompted me to do this video. Okay? So basically, I'm going to offer you 3 different techniques. 1 is a standard technique, and 2 are modified techniques. Now, my style of gross motor skills is the Israeli style. I don't like the saddle style, no particular reason, but I like to do it the Israeli style. So technique #1 would be the basic technique. The weapon goes into lock back, pull the weapon in. You want to drive the elbow into the rib cage, okay? Keeping your eyes downrange at your target. After a lot of practices, you can get that magazine to come up. It goes right into the magazine well. And then I invert the firearm, I grab it, and I push forward with my right arm. So what I'm doing is I'm driving the firearm directly in front of me towards the target, so I have to engage, I can engage the target. That's technique #1. Technique #2 would be, once again, bringing the weapon back, loading another magazine, inverting the weaponry, Israeli style, pull it back with your left hand. Now here's the problem. I don't particularly like that style because the weapon is still behind you or still close to you. You really can't get a sight picture. When you're pushing it in front of you like this, now you have a sight picture. So you've got technique #1, driving the right hand forward. Technique #2, pulling it back with the left hand. Now, for those of you that have a arthritic or a very weak support hand, you could take 1 and 2, combine both of them, so the weapon comes back, magazine gets put in, weapon is inverted back into this position here, and as you pull back with the left, you're driving forward with the right. So now you're getting both actions. You're getting the strength of what little strength you have of the left arm, and you're also getting strength from your dominant side. So that's a technique that I like to do. I'll bring the weapon in, I'll put it in a fresh magazine, I'll turn the weapon over, and I'll drive it forward for my next shot. Okay? And then I'll go back into a grip. So that's the style that I like. The real motivation behind this video is safety. Weapon downrange, barrel pointed downrange at all time. If there's a negligent or accidental discharge, you're covering your bases and you're saving the people to your right and to your left, and you're also saving yourself from any type of an injury. Okay? So once again, whether you choose a saddle or American style grasp on the slide, or if you wish to do the Israeli style, it's up to you, whatever works for you. And that's one of the things that I try to train my students. I will modify your method, but I want it to work for you and your shooting style. It's kind of like a Happy Gilmore situation, you know, maybe the most unorthodox way of shooting, but if you're nailing a 10 ring every time, we'll polish it up, but you continue moving forward, but as long as you're safe with the firearm. So once again, weapon comes back, whether you do a saddle or Israeli, we'll do a saddle this time, weapon comes back, drive it forward with your dominant. Second option is pull the weapon back in, pull it back with your support, or combination of the two, which is going to be pulling back with the left, driving forward with the right hand. And that should get you back in the battery, back up on target, and back in the game. So hopefully my little rant will help you be a better shooter, and hopefully you'll be a safer shooter. So if you have a weak support arm, these are some of the techniques that you can use to manipulate a semi-automatic. So I hope that helps. As always, shoot what you carry what you shoot. Safety, safety, safety. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch you later.
Treat me like crack, I put heads on shelf to smack them on fracks. The best in the game, I smoke on these tracks, so to match your plan, I hope you meet back.